Welcome to all of you. In this video, we are going to know about the chapter Around the World in 72 Days from the book The English Connection from 6th Standard. This chapter, Around the World in 72 Days, is written by Bonnie Christensen. And who was Bonnie Christensen? She was an author and illustrator of 4 books for children and has illustrated several others. She was born in 1951 and she was died in 2015. You can see the picture of Bonnie Christensen. And this chapter, Around the World in 72 Days, is about breaking a record in real. So how it has been done, who has broken this record, and what is that record in fictional and real. So let us know about all these things. So the main character of this chapter is Elizabeth Cochrane. You can see the picture, who was writing under the pen name Nellie Bly. So how this idea came into her mind: one sleepless night when she was not able to sleep, in that night this idea came in her mind that she will break the record of a fictional character's record, the fictional character Phileas Fogg, who went around the world in 80 days in Jules Verne's popular novel. Now this idea came into her mind that she will break that fictional record in real. So for this she just went to her editor and expressed her ideas that she wants to travel around the world in order to break the fictional character's record in real. So what was the scenario of 18th century? In the late 18th, it took many months to travel around the world. Why? Because boats were late, trains were slow, and connections were often missed. But Nellie checked the timetables, and she was convinced with timetable that she can break the fictional character Phileas Fogg's record. So she went to her editor where she was working, but her newspaper editor, he was doubtful. Why? Because in those days women could not travel alone, and he argued for it also. And he also said that transferring her dozens of trunks would cause missed connections for her. But she was so determined that she said that I don't need a companion. First of all, I can travel only with one piece of hand luggage, and besides that she also said that if you will not send me, then I will simply find another newspaper and I will do this. Finally, at this, editor relented. He agreed, and next question was for her that can she start her journey within 2 days. Now within this short notice period, she was not phased, not a little bit. She just visited to a dressmaker, ordered the dress, and which kind of dress? Such kind of dress which she will stand as a constant wear for her for 3 months. Then she bought a long loose coat and one handbag 6 by 7 inches into which she could squeeze all her essentials. Then she has started her journey in real at 9:40 a.m. November 14, 1889 with a ship Augusta Victoria, and steamed away from Hoboken, New Jersey. And at this time she has been warned many things. She was warned that she has to face intense heat, bitter cold, terrible storms, shipwrecks, fevers. But her greatest fear, what was her greatest fear? That she did not want it to fail. She don't want to run behind the time. She also said when she started her journey, she said that I will prefer to come dead than alive, but behind the time. So that was her motto and willpower. And first, what kind of first challenge for her? Her real challenge was overcoming seasickness, and she has overcame it. Then everybody started to bemock her, sneered her, but her motto was only one. Her motto was energy rightly applied and directed will accomplish anything. She did not waste her energy over all these criticism. And by the time she arrived Southampton, England, first of all, and she has conquered her sickness at this time, and she was in good spirits. Then from Southampton she made a quick side trip to Amiens, France. Why? To meet Jules Verne, the real writer of the novel by which she was inspired. So all together, both of them, they had charted her journey on the map which Verne has used to outline Phileas Fogg's route. Then now she was worried that she will miss the train, but she was fortunate enough. She was train was train arrived. The train was 2 hours late itself, and now she was fearing that her ship Augusta Victoria sailed without her, but she was lucky that it was in the port and she has traveled without any delay. Now on the shipboard, she came to know that people were calling her eccentric American heiress, traveling about with a hairbrush and a bank book. But she was not paying attention over all these things. Now she has used 3 ships: first Augusta Victoria, second Oriental, and third Oceanic. And Sri Lanka, her next ship, she has boarded on Oriental ship, and it was delayed for 5 days. But at this time she was patienceless, and one man in Sri Lanka said that it is a good place to stay, but she said that it may be if staying there does not mean more than life to one. And at this time she has also bought a monkey named McGinty. And then finally, when Columbia sailed, it was ragged by ragging monsoons, which at one point filled Nellie's cabin with water also. Against all oddities, they arrived 2 days earlier in Hong Kong, and at this time she was very much thrilled, and it was 39th day of her journey, and she has traveled halfway around the world. And she was obviously in Singapore. She was very, very happy because she was 4 days early, and 39th day of her journey, and she has traveled halfway around the world. Then it was informed to her that she has a competitor also named Elizabeth Bisland, and she was also competing her, and she was sent by a magazine to beat Nellie's time record, and it looked at that time she would succeed. Now she was also disheartened. This was a disheartening news. Another disheartening news was that her own next ship, Oceanic, third ship, would be delayed for 5 days now, which before sailing to Japan. Now she was very much disheartened. But on January 7, Oceanic began to the Pacific, crossing Yokohama, Japan, to San Francisco. Nellie had an ocean and continent to cross 8,000 miles at this time, and only 25 days in which she has to do it. Everyone on board knew Nellie's story now, and everyone was rooting for her, supporting her. Now they were telling chief engineer also embellished across the engine that for Nellie Bly we will win or die. Then 13 days later, San Francisco was in sight, but there was more troubling news. The worst snowstorm in 10 years had hit the northwest. The planned train route was impassable. The world newspaper decided to hire a special train for Nellie Bly to take a southerly route cross country. They have supported her at this time, and then all along the way, Nellie was greeted by the crowds of well-wishers, bands and fireworks, telegrams, flowers and fruits and candies poured in. On January 25th, she has started on 14th November 1889, and on January 25th, 1890, 72 days, 6 hours and 11 minutes after the start of her journey, Nellie Bly set foot in the Jersey City train station again. A huge cheering throng greeted her. Cannons roared, and the mayor of the city declared that American girl will no longer be misunderstood. She will be recognized as pushing and determined, independent, able to take care of herself wherever she may go. Nellie Bly had won much more than her race against the clock now. And what she has won? Her exploit increased, means the word newspaper magazines circulation was increased due to her achievement by 24,000, and the newspaper described her also as the best known and most widely talked of young woman on the earth today. And it was not an exaggeration, it was real. And her picture appeared on games, toys, soaps, medicines, racehorse, hotel, and trains were named after her. The name Nellie Bly was heard and recognized everywhere. So this is all about this chapter. Let us know the question answers of this chapter. So there are 3 sections in this chapter. for the questions. A section, there are MCQs, and first MCQ is, first, Nelly's editor tried to discourage her from traveling around the world as. Answer is option A. He thought it was not proper for a woman to travel alone. Question number 2. Nelly set sail around the world from. Answer, from Hoboken, New Jersey. Third question. The first delay occurred when. Answer is B. Her ship to Singapore was delayed for 5 days. Fourth question. Nelly wanted to travel around the world too. Answer is D. To prove she was determined, independent, and able to take care of herself. Now section B. So in section B there are 4 questions. First question is, trace Nelly's journey around the world by completing the information on the map. So for this you can search on the Google. You can trace the map which you will find. So question number 2 is, what were the challenges travelers had to face when Nelly Bly decided to travel around the world? Answer is, in the late 80s, it took many months to travel around the world because boats were late, trains were slow, and connections were often missed. These were the challenges which travelers had to face when Nelly Bly decided to travel around the world. Question number 3, why did Nelly wish to sail around the world, and that too in 72 days only? Answer is, Nelly wished to sail around the world because she wanted to break the fictional record of Phileas Fogg, who went around the world in 80 days in Jules Verne's popular novel. Question number 4, which is here as 3. Question is, what was the reason for Nelly's popularity in United States of America? Answer is, Nelly was popular in the United States of America because she had broken the fictional record of Phileas Fogg in reality. She proved that she was determined, independent, and able to take care of herself. Now section C, there are 2 questions only. Question is, what were her editor's reason for dissuading Nelly from undertaking the journey? What does this tell you about the condition of a woman in those days? Answer is, her editor's reason for dissuading Nelly from undertaking the journey were: first, a woman could not travel alone; second, transferring dozens of trunks would cause missed connection; third, boats were late, trains were slow, and connections were often missed. Question number 2, last question. Write how Nelly showed determination and independence during her journey. How would you have reached in her situation? How would you have reacted? Answer is, when Nelly had started her journey, she said she would rather return dead than alive and behind time. She was not discouraged by her criticism. Her motto was, energy rightly applied and directed will accomplish anything. She had overcome all the problems and finally won the race against the fictional character. I would have reacted the same in her situation. So that is all about the question answers of this chapter. Thanks a lot for watching this video. If this video is liked by you, please subscribe the channel and share this video. God bless us all.